The letter you are about to hear is a work of fiction. All names, events, and circumstances are entirely imaginary and created for narrative and artistic purposes. This story does not depict or promote violence, crime, or punishment. It is a reflection on the human experience, memory, love, and the acceptance of death.
My dear daughter, I am writing this knowing there will be no letter after it. That knowledge sits quietly beside me as I write. It does not rush me. It does not frighten me. It simply reminds me to choose my words carefully, because these are the last ones I will leave behind. There is something about knowing the end that simplifies a person. Thoughts stop circling. Explanations lose their urgency. What remains is not fear, but clarity. This letter comes from that clarity. I have been given a great deal of time here. Time without distraction. Time without movement. Time that does not ask anything of me. At first, I resisted it. I tried to fill it with memory, with argument, with imagined conversations. But eventually, time stops responding to resistance. So I learned to sit inside it. And in that stillness, the things that mattered most returned on their own. I thought often about what it means to be a father, not in the way people speak about it, but in the way it feels when there is nothing left to prove. I understood too late that being a father is not about certainty. It is about presence, about staying even when staying is uncomfortable, about choosing steadiness over escape. There were moments when I failed to do that. That truth does not change here, and it does not need defense. I want to say this plainly. My absence was not your fault. My silence was not something you caused. The distance that grew between us was not born from anything lacking in you. Children do not create distance. Adults do. I remember you not as a timeline, but as impressions that settled into me. The way you listened more than you spoke. The way you noticed small changes in people. The way you learned the world quietly, as if you were trying to understand it before responding to it. You carried awareness early. That kind of awareness can feel heavy, but it is also a form of strength. If life ever felt overwhelming to you, it was because you were paying attention. This place removes many things. It removes movement. It removes choice. It removes the illusion of endless time. But it does not remove love. Love is not something that can be taken. It remains even when there is nowhere to put it. I carried my love for you through long nights and quiet mornings that arrived without promise. I carried it through regret that no longer needed a voice. I carried it through acceptance. There are apologies I could offer, But apologies often ask something in return. They ask to be received, or forgiven, or answered. I am not asking for anything now. I acknowledge where I failed. I acknowledge where I was weak. I acknowledge the moments when I chose distance instead of responsibility. Acknowledgement is quieter than apology, but it is more honest. I know that people often want final words to explain everything, to resolve what was broken, to bring comfort where there has been absence. This letter cannot do that, and it should not try. Some things are not repaired with language. They are simply carried differently with time. I want you to know that I am not afraid. There was a time when fear lived loudly inside me. It argued, it resisted, it demanded alternatives. But fear grows tired when it is no longer fed. What remains is now quieter than fear. It is acceptance. Death does not feel dramatic from here. It feels final, yes, but not violent, not chaotic. It feels like the closing of something that has already been written. I am not fighting it. I am not bargaining with it. I am not asking it to wait. I am finished trying to outrun who I was. I do not want my ending to become something you carry heavily. I do not want it to follow you into rooms it does not belong in. This ending is mine. It belongs here. Your life belongs forward. If you remember me without obligation. If you speak of me, speak without apology. And if there are days when you do not think of me at all, let those days be light. Love does not diminish when it is no longer spoken. It simply changes form. Family is not only about who stays. Sometimes it is about who teaches us how to leave without destroying what remains. I am learning how to leave. Not angrily, not bitterly, not unfinished, but quietly. You do not owe me understanding. You do not owe me forgiveness. You do not owe me memory. You owe yourself a life that is not shaped by my ending. Choose joy when it appears. Rest when you are tired. Love without measuring how long it might last. There is peace in knowing that my voice will stop here. Not sadness, not despair. Peace. The kind that comes when nothing more needs to be explained. This letter is not a goodbye. It is a release. I release you from waiting for something more from me, from wondering who I might have become. You are free to continue without carrying my unfinished weight. I leave this world knowing one thing with certainty. I loved you. Not perfectly, not loudly, but completely. That love does not end with this letter. It simply stops asking to be heard. With love, without expectation, your father.